Today I am going to be setting up this beautiful 29-gallon tank, community tank with tons of different kinds of fish and snails and shrimp and all that kind of stuff. We're just gonna get all the stuff in there, let it get cycling and stuff like that. No fish are going in today. I'm very excited. My partner Jason behind the camera is gonna help me, especially for lifting all the big ass bags that I don't want to do. Let's do it!
That's what she said.
Out. It came with the tank. We got it on Facebook Marketplace. We don't know what brand it is. We can't find it anywhere, so we're getting a new filter. So this is gone. Our first step, we're gonna stick a bunch of this fluval aqua soil stratum stuff in there as our base layer. I have live plants in my other tanks, but I've never used this aqua soil stuff. It's supposed to be really good. It has all the nutrients built in, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so we're gonna do that. We did not want to spend $300 on aqua soil though. So we're gonna be like layering it with some other stuff. Okay, cool. So we thought that we were gonna have to spend $250 on aqua soil. One bag works. So if you have a big 29-gallon like this and you're like, oh my God, aqua soil is so expensive, get one bag, you're fine. And now we still have another one of these small ones.
That's what she said.
We can use that in the small tank. Yes! That's awesome. Beautiful. Okay, so we have aqua soil in. We have sand in. To cap it, now we can do hardscape. Yeah, heck yeah. Okay, we picked up a bunch of stuff because we are also going to be building a snake tank. I am out of the frame. Okay. So we picked up a bunch of stuff yesterday, ton of hardscape stuff, because we're gonna be doing this tank. We have a snake tank for a rescue that we're gonna set up, and another smaller aquarium. So those will all be probably different well, definitely different videos. Yeah, so I'm gonna get my bag of stuff and we'll look through it. Okay. All right, I just finished washing all of our hardscape, getting all the dust and dirt and whatever off of it. So we are gonna start putting all this stuff together. We have a general idea of what we wanna do. When we were at the store, we kind of played around with some stuff. They had a tank that was the exact same size as this, so we could kind of put stuff in there and like see how it would fit. But obviously we're gonna put it all together now. So this big one is gonna be our mother stone. This smaller one is gonna be our secondary. And this piece of driftwood fits like perfectly on top of it. So I'm really excited about that. And then we have some smaller little secondary stones or tertiary or whatever, I don't know. And then a bunch of these smaller pieces. This is spiderwood. This is all dragon stone. There's a ton of different types of wood and stone that you can use. I prefer to use kind of, that's the oven for my leaf litter for the snake cage. I'll get that in a second. Yeah, so you can use kind of whatever you want. Just make sure that it's safe for your aquarium. It's not gonna leach out any minerals or stuff into the water that you don't want. We're kind of basing this, we did a little bit of research on the, I don't remember what it's called, but it's like the fancy aquascaping method where you have like your mother stone, you have the secondary, you have supporting rocks and all that kind of stuff. That comes with a lot of like rules and you know, it's very specific in like where angles go and all that stuff. We're not gonna deal with all that, but we are gonna use the kind of mother, secondary, and tertiary stones. Yeah, so let's get building. have got all of our hardscape in. Super, super happy with how this looks. We glued a bunch of stuff together, laid stuff out, tried a bunch of different things. Now, we have it all in there, filled it up with water. There's nothing living in there yet, which will change. We don't have any plants to throw in there, and it's too late because all the stores are closed. But tomorrow, we're gonna go grab a bunch of plants, plant this up, let it start cycling and stuff, and then eventually we'll be able to throw some fish in there. I'm cold. I don't want my sleeves to get wet. It is still the same day. We took a break for dinner and other things, and then decided to switch everything around. So, new hardscape! I think it looks much better like this. Jason was like, what if we switch them? And I was like, I don't know. And then we tried it, and it's awesome. I think it looks so much better. The other thing we did during our dinner / other things break was dismantle one of our other tanks, which we've been meaning to do for a very long time. I have all my snails in that little bowl, substrate over there, empty tank. And in this bucket right here, which is causing quite the echo, I have all the plants from that tank, and I was like, we should just put them in this one. So that's what we're gonna do. And then we are gonna get more plants tomorrow. So, but this is what's happening right now. Okay. So actually, I think the first thing to do is rinse all of these plants to make sure there's no fucking floating plants on them, because I don't want them. Okay. These plants are also all like tangled together. Weird. What are you doing? Okay. So I have 3 little, I think these are Java ferns. I'm pretty sure they're Java ferns. So 3 of those, 2 of whatever this thing is. I don't know. These plants were all given to me, so I have no idea what any of them are. But I have 2 of these things, and this, which has 2 little shoots, which I think this is a sword fern, maybe? And then I have a bunch of Monte Carlo in there also, but I'm gonna rinse these off first, plant these first, and then do Monte Carlo. There's a ton of snail eggs on all of these plants, which I have no idea if they're gonna survive in this new tank, because new tank, new different water, you know, all that kind of stuff. But hopefully some of them hatch. I don't know, it would be cool. I definitely want some snails in this tank. Yeah, we'll see what happens. What kind of snails? Oh, these are ram's horn snails. People don't like them. I like them. I think they're cute. And they're a fantastic cleanup crew. So, yeah, let's wash these. Shit on these tweezers. Handy dandy tweezers. And we're just gonna go for it. Just trying to cover it in substrate so it stays down. We changed the hardscape again. Not very much, not very much. Just this rock in the front. We switched it out to a bigger rock. That way. I like it. Let's do some Monte Carlo. I, to be quite honest, don't know how to plant this, so I just kind of made little clusters. And theoretically that'll work. I think. That's what I did in the other tank, and it seemed fine. So, and there's definitely duckweed in here, so I'll have to scrape that out. But that's also fine. Okay. And I don't have very much of this. Well, I don't have very much of any of the plants, so this is just like the very first preliminary little thing. No. That seemed to work decently. that will theoretically start to grow out. Except these roots are still not in the soil. I'm just fucking this all up. The next thing we're gonna do is move our little snail friends into their new home. We've already put some quick start in here, dechlorinator, all that good stuff. So these guys should just start getting the cycle going. So I am just going to, should I acclimate them? Because this water is much colder. Okay, let's get a little bag then. I'll plop them into the bag. We can acclimate to the temperature and then we'll throw them in. Hello. It is the next day now. I got a bunch of plants. So we're gonna plant them. Yeah, that's what's happening. I have no plan. The plants I got, I have some moneywort. No idea what this is called. The people at the shop, I was like, oh, what is this? That's interesting. And they were like, I don't really know. We've never tried it before. We have no experience with it. So I was like, all right, I'll try it. Then I have some Amazon sword. And then this is some kind of fern, I don't know, fern thing. I have some ribbons, some dwarf hair grass, Monte Carlo, which I'm actually gonna save for a different tank, and Anubias. So I have a couple of the Nana Anubias, like the small ones, and then one of the medium-sized ones. This is an El Nino fern. Cool. Okay. Yeah, I don't really know, I don't have a plan, so I'm just gonna see what happens. I think I'm gonna do back to front, so these tall ones first and then the shorter ones. Hello, we are back again with more plants, more different plants. I have a couple of these little Blixa Japonesca, these things. I got some pearlweed here. This is Rotalia, green and red. We are just going to kind of fill in a couple of the sparse areas. It's looking really good so far, but I just want to get a little bit more in there. I'm gonna make Jason plant all this because his arms are longer and I struggle with getting the tweezers behind the rock. So he's gonna be my bitch and do it for me while I tell him what to do. Okay, enough of that. We're not fancy on this channel. So it is a couple weeks later. The snail population is booming in here. They are doing great. We have added CO2 to the tank. We're trying to find a way to make it look prettier than just being there, but that's fine. Also, don't mind my back brace. We're just gonna pretend that it's like a super cute corset that I'm wearing on purpose for not because I have to. Yeah, what the CO2 does is adds CO2 into the water, which the plants love. So it'll help all the plants grow better, faster, stronger, all of those things. This is my first high-tech tank. I've never had CO2 before. We got it from Marketplace because we're not rich. And then we're also going to put some plants up on top, some terrestrial plants. I have These are just like random little pothos propagations that I had, and I was like, all right, I'll throw them in there for now, and they kind of sit in this little groove. But the plan is to throw some of this in there. Obviously not the whole thing, because I think that would maybe be out of control a little bit. I'm gonna chop and prop some of these guys, and we have some little like plant holder things coming in the mail. So once we get those, I'm gonna stick some of this pothos in, and theoretically, hopefully, and knowing pothos, it will kind of grow, you know, start vining, and then we can wrap it around the banister a little bit. That's the plan for now. She's just gonna keep living in her pot. So that is our plan, our game plan. We got the CO2 in there, we got it all planted, we got snails up the wazoo. Yeah, we're just gonna keep letting this cycling. I just checked the levels the other day. It seems to be doing pretty good. It looks like we've gotten past our first ammonia spike. Now we're starting to get some nitrites and nitrates in there, so that is a good sign. Yeah, so I'll just keep monitoring it, letting it get cycled, and eventually we will be able to add some fish in there. Don't be a bitch, be nice to fish and snails and shrimps and all of the things. And also like and follow and subscribe and the bell thing and all of that stuff. Okay, bye.